Now, with Makarov back, we are expecting a way better story than previous ones. We wanna see us getting shocked, we wanna have our jaw dropped, we wanna pause the game holding our head asking what the fuck did I just witness? At least that is what I was expecting. And then we start with this mission. A rendered down mixture of two missions from old Modern Warfare 2 and MW3. Not a great start, but what about the actual story? Let's talk about it, cause I have some things to talk. Story starts pretty decent. We get the Gulag mission where we free Makarov and we immediately see him mobilizing his forces and stealing American missiles from Urzikstan. Why would he need American missiles? He has his own. And then he steals a highly concentrated gas from Urzikstan's nuclear plant.
Coney got away with the chemicals.
Affirmative. They made off with enough to kill a whole country.
What could his motive be? Does he want to attack a superpower country with American missiles he stole? And not just the missiles, but missiles capped with chemical warheads. Does he want to attack and start a literal world war? That would be commendable. And I won't lie, game had me in first few missions. Out of the few it actually had. The direction story was going in was actually dark and grittier take on Modern Warfare. Makarov has American missiles and Urzikstan's chemical gas. He has started his attack on Urzikistan. He has attacked a plane filled with Russian people and made it look like a terrorist attack carried out by Urzikistan's local militia. And little detail here, he carried out this attack while the plane was flying above Urzikistan. He fired those American missiles he stole on a Russian military base, killing I don't know how many soldiers, and the blame was going on Urzikistan and USA. He did all of that within 72 hours after his release from Gulag, and I was liking the direction story was going in. Makarov's plan was good, execution on it was even better. But then story decided to take the safest route possible. You can't have too many controversies, otherwise you'll be cancelled. Yeah, mate. Makarov was killing with his execution on his plan. Oh, the puns. But Activision was failing. There are 4 aspects to this failure named Modern Warfare 3. 1 is the story itself. 2nd is cheap imitations. 3rd, wasted characters. And 4th, you guessed it, gameplay. Let's talk about story first. With setup so good, you might be wondering how could it go wrong? Well, one part of it is the easy and non-consequential route this game takes. After the No Russian mission, the world was thinking Urzikistan bad. And with the proof, Urzikistan would become a threat to the world, which it wasn't. But it wouldn't have mattered because Konis, the Russian PMCs led by Makarov, would actually have an incentive to capture Urzikistan. They would have been neutralizing a threat to the world. They may not have become heroes to the world, but what's more important is that they wouldn't have become villains to the world, which they otherwise would have been while capturing Urzikistan. And we can even go a layer deeper and talk about what Kremlin's response to all of this would be. Remember, Konis are PMC, not actual Russian military, and situation could have gotten way more complicated, but then let's not do that because it's a huge hassle that the developers or their superiors. Let's make a campaign and not deal with any kind of complications and controversies that might come with it. And they made something that is shy of even calling itself a Call of Duty campaign. So we send Farah looking down the crash site to delete the proof and kill down Konis who were there collecting that proof, so no one faces any severe consequences.
We got
another
banger for y'all today, baby.
I hope you don't mind, Tim. The mission, where the Russian military base is gassed up due to American missiles. What about it? Exactly, what about it? What happened about it? Nothing. Russia forgot about it? Cause I didn't see anything happening. Then for some reason, we have Shepard still meddling his bald head between the matters. Cause he wants a win on his name? I don't know, but old Shepard wasn't as shallow. Even in Modern Warfare 2, 2022, Shepard wasn't a great character. But they redeemed him at least a little bit when they showed the events that happened in the mission where he was sending missiles to Urzikistan, to Farah and keeping it off the books. But then the convoy was attacked by Konis and missiles were lost, hence making the entire events called Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 2022 happen. But in MW3, I don't even know what he's doing. Because for once it felt like he was working with Makarov, then he was captured by Makarov. Confusing. This campaign was too busy playing with itself and trying to figure out what it wanted to do. And what about the most hyped mission? The No Russian. We literally have like 2 minutes of actual gameplay. Makarov put a bomb on us and flew away and plane go boom. That's the mission, baby. Story wasn't the only aspect that led to the downfall of MW3. Second aspect is cheap imitations of old assets. I would have called it stealing of ideas from old Call of Duty, but since Activision owns the old Call of Duties as well, calling it stealing would be inappropriate. Opening mission itself is a combination of 2 outstanding missions from old Modern Warfare 2 and 3. One is Gulag itself, where we secured the prisoner 627, also known as Captain Price, and the other is Hunter Killer from old MW3. Another example is the new No Russian mission. They had to bring back No Russian, so they put the mission in a similar setting to the Turbulence from old MW3. I know there isn't a Russian president we're trying to capture. In this new one, we actually have Russian innocent people who we are trying to blow to bits. But it doesn't matter because in both of those missions, Makarov ultimately had only one motive: to provoke Russia, and plane ultimately goes boom in both missions. There may be more similarities between other missions. If you know any, let me know in comments. It's as if they ran out of ideas. Activision Marvel-fied the Modern Warfare 3, relying too much on fan-favorite characters, older missions, and Easter eggs to carry the burden of what is actually a dull and pointless story. Yes, I know, dull, pointless, same thing. Somebody please send me a dictionary. Despite having a rich pool of characters which were both interesting and likable, the game does a very poor job in developing them any further.
Why the mask?
To hide my face.
Characters that were once complex and engaging now seem flat and uninteresting. There is a stark lack of character development and growth in MW3. Not only that, but there are characters which were brought back from the dead without any explanation. For instance, Alex. He was brought back from the dead because, well, he didn't die in that sacrifice he made. Not even once does the game mention Alex's sacrifice. He's just back chilling like nothing ever happened. From being one of the best protagonists in MW 2019 to just another sacrificial pawn in MW3 2023. This is a proper murder of a character. Oh, and Graves is also back, and I would not have minded him coming back because it's a quite literal possibility that he was never in that tank, but the way game handles this situation is also very questionable. The story progresses like it never happened. He's there since the first mission, and I know it was teased in some season for multiplayer, but I don't know if I like the aspect of touching the story from outside of the campaign just for the sake of providing more content in Battle Pass and making it seem like a common knowledge in next campaign. What is opposite of bringing back characters? Yes, killing them. And we have seen quite a load of characters die throughout the history of Call of Duty. We still have those emotional scars from death of our beloved characters. Don't worry, I'm not gonna talk about any deaths outside of this game, because when a character dies, it almost feels like a part of you also dies along with it, scarring you for the rest of your life. And as you grow older, those scars take the form of nostalgia and grow only deeper. After a few years, when we look back to those characters, we think about all the things these characters did, what they stood for, and how they left us. All of these memories come and go, leaving a melancholic smile on our faces. Call of Duty isn't the biggest franchise just because it's an FPS game with big budget. It's the biggest franchise because throughout the years of different Call of Duties, we have met characters that took us along with them in their journey. A journey filled with ups and downs, a journey filled with good and evil, a journey filled with death and sacrifices, a journey filled with character. Now Call of Duty MW3 had characters filled to brim with character development and growth from previous Call of Duties. Now all MW3 had to do was not fuck them up. You don't want to give any further development to any of these characters? Fine, just don't ruin what you already got. If not for you, then for us, fans. Do not ruin any character.
Fuck you.
And for one last time today, they did just that. They killed off Soap, with story being a pretty generic one, looking almost like copy of old Modern Warfare's. a game with no better ideas, a game that was and felt rushed, a game that wasn't even supposed to come out according to the studio itself. Developers needed a big enough carpet to sweep all of this mess beneath it, and they found just the perfect thing. Another sacrificial pawn, John So McTavish. With all said and done, now comes the gameplay part. Yeah, let's keep it short. Gameplay was literal copy-paste from previous game, with some changes like overall speed, gun handling and movement, etc. And with the semi-open world missions, or weapons-free as Call of Duty likes to call it. I liked the idea on paper. I even liked 1 or 2 missions, but then half of the missions turned out to be weapons-free missions, and it was not fun. The classic Call of Duty vibe was long gone. I'm tired of watching a beautiful story go to waste because some man in suit wanted more money. I am tired of crying and complaining and then all of it going to waste. I am tired of complaining itself. I am tired of us going through the same cycle of excitement for new Call of Duty because of attention-grabbing cheap marketing stunt and then complaining about the game as soon as it releases. I guess I'm just tired of Call of Duty for now. But guess who's excited for Gulf War? Jokes apart, I may be part of a group who are actually tired of Call of Duty, but in classic Call of Duty fashion, there is always another group that is excited and happy with Call of Duty. And I know it's quite a longer video than most of my other videos, so I appreciate you sticking up until now. Thank you so much.